Okay, so they want us to match up similar triangles. We're comparing the little bitty right triangle here with the entire big right triangle. And we're saying those two are similar, but this is tricky. It's easy to accidentally get them in the wrong order here. Let me show you. So they're saying triangle XYZ, which is the big one, XYZ, is similar to, that little squiggle mark means similar, similar to, and then I want to say the little one, but the order matters, doesn't it? Let's be careful. So how about this? We know for sure angle Y is the right angle. That's got to go with angle N, doesn't it? I mean, they're both the right angle. They're both a 90-degree angle. So the angle Y right here in the big triangle has certainly got to match up with the N in the little tiny triangle. So where's Y in the order? Remember, the order is super important in these triangle statements, but Y is in the middle. So I'll put the N in the middle. Okay, got that. Now what else can we do? Well, here's the trick. Notice that angle X is a member of both triangles. What do I mean? Angle X is an angle in the little triangle right there. And angle X is a member of the big triangle, same spot. He is an angle in both triangles, isn't he? So therefore, he's obviously the same as himself. It's kind of a silly statement even to say. So he's got to match with himself. X is obviously equal to X. All right. And what does that leave then? All that leaves is the M here. This M, I'll double him. He's got to match with the Z. The Z has to match with the M. That's the correct order. See how I discerned it? I just made sure I matched equal angles with equal angles. Again, the N and the Y are both 90, so they got to match up middle to middle. The X is itself, so he's front, and all that left then was angle M must be the same as angle Z. How do I know they're the same? Well, once you have two angles the same, in two different triangles, you know the third angles must be the same because every triangle has the same total, 180. We already had a 90 and a 90. We already had X in both triangles, the same as itself. So we had two angles equal. So the third angle, M and Z, must be equal as well because every triangle has the same total 180, no matter how big or small it is. So in other words, we've just proved these two triangles are similar. They must have the same three angles. It's weird, huh? That means this little right triangle right there is just a shrunk down version of this big entire right triangle. This must be a shrunk down version. Interesting. Okay, we just proved it, right? They got to have the same three angles. Okay, so now we want to use that fact to solve for MN. How do we solve for MN? Well, the best way to go on this one, it's easy to get turned around, but follow the order in the triangles. What do I mean? Let's look carefully at the triangle. MN, notice, is right here. That's MN, right? Which is X. They're basically wanting me to find X. MN is X. They want me to find X. Okay. Well, how do you know what it goes with? Well, being careful, X over 12, well, let me just do it up here. X over 12 must equal what? Right, so see what I did for starters. I'm just grabbing the X here and the 12 there. Now, those are two sides in the little right triangle. How do you know what they go with in the big right triangle? Like, so for example, should the X go with the 18? Should this be 18? Should the X match up with the 18? Is that right? No, that's not right. You might think, well, yeah, it is if you just flipped it around. No, careful, there's two ways to flip it. Here's what you should do to be sure. That's not correct. It's not the 18. How do you know? See right here, look at the triangle order. MN is right here. MN, which is what? The back to, which is what? YZ right here. X goes with 27. See how I'm coming up with that? You see what I just did? Always pay attention to the triangle order. That's super important, and that'll guide you on how to know which sides correspond with which sides. Again, X right here is between M and N. M and N are the back two in the order. What are the back two in the little triangle order? Or I mean the big triangle order. YZ, YZ, that's the 27. So X actually matches with the 27. X goes with the 27. Okay, then that leaves the 18. Okay, let me change the color. That leaves the 18. Does the 12 really go with the 18? Yes, it does. Here's the 12. XN. XN is the front two. That's like XY right here. XY right here. Sure enough, 18. Yes. Does that make sense how I figured that out? You got to be super careful with the order to set up the corresponding triangles. Now, a really common, well, here, let's finish it up. And so then let's just solve this thing. So just go diagonal, diagonal, 18 times x, 12 times 27, 18x, 12 times 27, 324, divided by 18, x equals 18. Interesting enough. M in x is 18. Now, a common mistake, good question I get sometimes is students will say to me, Mr. Heron, I flipped it around like this, you know. I just flipped it. I put the N here and the M went up there and the big capital X there. And, you know, this is the little X side here, the right angle. I just did that. And so that tells me that X should match with 18. Well, that's the wrong flip. See, the trick with flipping is there's two ways to flip. The correct flip should be more like this. Let's see if I don't know if I can do it. Yeah, the N is here, the M is here, the capital X is there, and the little side X is right there. That's the correct flip. This is the wrong flip. This is the right flip here. And so X actually goes with 27. The point is I wouldn't rely on the flipping. It's just a little bit hard to see the flip correctly. I wouldn't trust your eyes. I would instead look down at the order in the triangle. X, N, M. Remember this down here? X, N, M. So look at, that's the best thing to do. So when you're up here looking at X, saying, what does X go with, the 18 or the 27? Well, just notice the X is between M and N, so it's got to go YZ. Oh, it goes with the 27. See that? And the 12 is XN. XN's the front two, that's XY. XY, oh, that's the 18. Yeah. Use the triangle order to guide you. The flipping the little one around, it's easy to flip it the wrong way. It's actually wider on the bottom, wider on the bottom. But again, don't rely on that. That's hard to see, hard to do. It's better just to follow the triangle order.